Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome to my booth. My name's Jay. If we haven't met yet today, bam, we're listening to one of your samples yet again. This one comes from Joe Reeder. Joe, thanks for sending this in. I forgot to mention in the last video, so before I forget again, if you'd like to have your audio reviewed, there's a form in the description of this video. Fill it out, send me something, and we'll put you in a video just like this down the line. Or if you want to work more quickly and back and forth, there's coaching on my website. Check that out if that's more your speed. Without further ado, hey Joe, let's take a listen. Now this is a full commercial demo with quite a few spots, so I'm going to jump around a bit and talk about it, about different spots in particular, about commercial demos as a whole, and sort of best practices. So just all of that up front. That said, Joe, let's take a listen.
When pain gets in the way of doing the things you enjoy, try Aleve. Only Aleve has the strength to stop body, joint, back, and arthritis pain all day with just 2 pills.
Great start already. A couple things that I like. Your pacing is really, really nice. You're not rushing it. You've chosen really nice music as well to go with the ad. The big thing for me with this spot, well, there's one small thing in particular. There are a couple plosives. You're popping the mic a couple times, and you don't want those in your demo, 100% not, because if somebody hears a plosive in your demo, it's sort of like you want to put your best foot forward in a commercial demo like this. So just watch out for those. I have videos on mic placement and stuff if you want to brush up on that. And then as far as this ad, pharmaceutical ads like this, with Aleve in particular, the big thing you want to do is sort of present this is a thing that happens in commercials a lot, but you want to present the problem. Hey, if you are experiencing this kind of pain and it hurts to do this, well, then here's the solution. You just got to try this thing over here. So you sort of empathize, at least a general format. I wouldn't say to do this categorically always, because breaking the mold often is a good idea to try at times, but usually you want to sort of address the problem. If you have pain, then I understand, and here's what you can do to solve it. You acknowledge the thing, and then you present the solution to this problem. And so I would just angle more heavily into that direction with this spot in particular. And then I'll address it more as we listen to more of your spots here as we go, but in commercial demos generally, you want to start with the sort of ad that you will get cast in easily. The thing that and what I mean by the thing that you'll get cast in, usually that's the sort of material, the sort of copy, the sort of product sometimes that you personally respond to. Like, if you're a kind of naturally like bubbly, uplifting person, and you just sort of have this sort of positive, bubbly personality, you want an ad that aligns with that. You want an ad that's in alignment with who you are as an individual, because those are going to be your easiest sells, as it were. So like for me, I align more with like wry, sarcastic stuff than I do with like, I don't know, sentimental sort of, if we have to do this, then this. I tend to get cast more in the like, listen, if you want this, then this thing. And so leading your whole voiceover demo up front with the thing that fits you perfectly is generally the way to go. And having listened to your other spots, I think that you might want to start with a different one rather than this Aleve. Speaking of, let's listen to this next one.
One of my competitors says you can have it your way. Really? Good luck ordering breakfast after 11 a.m. Let's talk about my way. At Jack in the Box, my way means you can order anything on the menu any time of day, every year at this time.
Okay, so Jack in the Box they have like an established brand. So, with Jack in the Box in particular, unfortunately, you're sort of going to have to edge if you're going to use the name Jack in the Box. Now, with ads like this in your commercial demo, you have the latitude to be like, at Crispy's Burgers, just change the name so it's not a recognizable brand sometimes, unless it's something that you've worked on specifically, in which case then it's sort of a feather in your cap. All to say, with this one, I think you do a good job with the tone, but because it's such an established brand with sort of an established commercial presence, you might want to lean more into that. So like some of my competitors, they say that you can have it your way. Well, and good luck having breakfast after 9. Like they have that sort of dry rye thing. So maybe try just turning up the dry and wryness on that. But already, relative to the Aleve spot, we're getting a good range of your performance, and you can sort of pull those even further to further extend your range. And what I mean by that is, with the Aleve spot, it's the sort of empathetic, do you have pain? Well, then here's the solution. We get sort of empathy, then a warmness to you, and it's just very relatable in that sense. And then this one is, hey, you know what? This thing over here, so it's sort of wry, it's humorous. We're not really interested in connecting with the person. We're just like, this is my experience. Well, we're always interested in connecting with the person, but not to the level of the Aleve ad is what I mean. But with this one, it's just like a little, you know what I'm saying. I hope so. Let's listen to the next one, and all this will become clear.
Every year at this time, our favorite customer letters start coming in. They include photos of families from across the country in matching Land's End sweaters, old friends getting together on ski trips in squall jackets, and kids using Land's End boxes for school art projects. It's a simple reminder to us of what's most important. You.
So this one, the music to me does not match the ad. The music is giving me vibes of like the Titanic sinking. And this ad is, I think you perform the tone of the ad really nicely, that it's sort of that sentimental, like, you know, all these memories that you're making, Land's End is part of it. And that's sort of the nature of the ad, the sort of kernel behind it all. They use our boxes to make school projects, all of your memories, everyone's wearing our sweaters. Just think about it. You want to be part of this. So I would redo the music for this one, but I would also, in the first time you say Land's End is important, and whenever you say Land's End in this spot, I don't get the sort of lift where it would be if I didn't know that Land's End was a clothing brand, it would be potentially easy for me to miss it. So I would tighten that up. Now, we're getting to the point in your demo here where I want to talk about demo structure a bit. So as I was saying earlier, you want to start with your best foot forward. And what I mean by your best foot is material that you personally respond to. Don't worry about if it's something that people want. Don't worry if it's something that's marketable. Pick an ad that you just like latched onto, you liked performing it, you had fun doing it, the copy was easy for you. Because sometimes for me, I'll be working on a commercial audition or something and just trying to figure it out and it's just not clicking. That just means that I'm not the right person for it, and it's nothing to like worry about or push through. Pick an ad that is easy for you and fun. That should be your first one, and that first ad should be between 10 to 15 seconds. From then on out, they should not be over 10 seconds. In fact, most of them should be probably 5-second to maybe even 7-second clips. And the reason why is the majority of your clients or people who are potentially going to hire you, they're not going to listen to a full 1-minute demo. The reason why full long demos, those are there for if you're petitioning for an agent representation, VoiceOver managers, or if you're sending it to if you're sending it to like a publishing company, and what I mean by publish or production company. So if it's a place where they do a lot of ads and they want just sort of a general demo to represent you, then they might be interested. So agents and production companies, long demos. For everything else, it's going to be custom auditions, meaning you'll get the copy and audition on the day, or it'll be small clips. So with all of your clips here, It's really great that you have these 15-second chunks because you can use those on casting sites like Voices, your website, etc. And those will be great because clients are going to type into their computers looking for sentimental clothing ad, male voice, 35 to 50 years old or whatever. And so then this ad that you have, if you've tagged it correctly, you've labeled it correctly, will then cause you to rise to the top of the search rankings there. So that's why having 15-second chunks like this are good, but in a longer demo, you want it to be short, snappy, because ultimately the reason we really don't need to hear the whole ad. We understand that you can perform this type of copy after the first couple seconds.
Any time of day. Every year at this time, our favorite customer letters start coming in.
Our favorite customer letters start coming. Already, I know that this clothing ad is, it's a company talking to their customers. It's going to be relatable. I understand the tone. I understand that you can perform this. So all that said is really you just need this first chunk and then maybe...
It's a simple reminder to us of what's most important.
So let me just even take this whole thing out as an example. So now this is 6 seconds.
Every year at this time, our favorite customer letters start coming in. It's a simple reminder to us of what's most important.
There you go. That's all you need. Maybe if you can figure in how to tag a company name just so that they can hear how you read companies. So it's a simple reminder to us here at Land's End how we can make people's lives better, or whatever they said. Let's press on.
When my wife and I booked a Viking river cruise, we were nervous about traipsing.
So already, this ad feels like one that you're responding more naturally to because your energy is more up. I can hear you smiling. So I like the way that you're leaning into this ad, at least energetically.
We were nervous about traipsing all over Europe. At our age, we didn't think it would be possible. But boy, were we wrong. Viking made traveling easy.
That's one that I think you're edging into perhaps a little performative. And what I mean by performative is we can pull it back to a conversational thing. So this sort of ad, I think you would benefit from keeping the energy, keeping the positivity, keeping the revelations about like, oh man, we were so nervous. And then this made it so easy. But deliver it to a specific person and just pull back it was so... I'm not saying you're doing this. Very important disclaimer. This is my incredibly bad version and taking it to an extreme. So just take... But if you have that sort of, oh, it was this, we were so nervous. That's not how most people will respond to things. So if you pull it back and, oh, we were so nervous. You have no idea. And Viking, it just made it so easy and it was really lovely. So there's a delicate balancing act there. But overall, I like the way that you're pulling that ad.
If you suffer from depression, your children are 2 to 3 times more likely to develop problems themselves. This could include problems with peers, educational difficulties, behavioral problems, and yes, depression as well.
I love the pacing that you've done. I love that it's a complete, what am I saying? It's a sort of shifting of gears into a completely new tone. We haven't heard this tone from you before. So in ads like this or in demos like this, it's really nice to have a wide range of things that you are comfortable performing. So having Viking Cruise, we were so nervous about this, right next to, hey, if you suffer from depression, your kid might be at risk for depression as well. So you want to look out for this stuff. That's a really nice juxtaposition. So good choice there. I do think that you can cut this significantly again.
If you suffer from depression, your children are 2 to 3 times more likely to develop problems themselves.
That's all you need, really. But you could work in the tag if you wanted. But that's all you need. We understand you can perform this tone. We know this type of ad. Ta-da! Let's keep going.
Tire Rack, your online performance source, is offering free shipping on all tire purchases of $199 and up. Check out our easy-to-use tire matching guide and get sound advice from our tire experts.
That one sounds pretty similar to me in tone and performance, and honestly, the sort of nature of the script or copy. It's very similar to the Viking one, so I would definitely hang on to that copy and that sample as a standalone demo, or vice versa, the Viking one. But I wouldn't put them both in the same demo in this performance mode. You could totally shift gears if you wanted to and perform one or the other in a different way to show different colors of your performance. But as you noted in your submission notes, I do think that these in tone are pretty similar. So I would choose one or the other. My personal leaning is I think you shine a bit more in your performance of the Viking one. But disagree with me if you want. Let's go!
Let's face it. You have never flown out of bed because you smelled grapefruit. Now, Jimmy Dean gives you a reason to start the day deliciously with fewer fat and calories. Jimmy Dean Delights whole grain muffin and turkey sausage breakfast. It's got half the fat and a third less calories. Jimmy Dean, happy breakfast.
I like that ad for you. It sounds nice. I feel like you respond to it well, and similar to what I was saying with the Viking Cruise one, it's very close to edging into that sort of performative Jimmy Dean, like I imagine a twinkly smile person on screen or something like that. Not saying you did that, but it's close to it, I think. So I would ground it a bit more. What I mean by ground it is pick somebody and hey, let's face it, nobody's ever flown out of bed for the smell of grapefruit. Jimmy Dean, however, it's lower fat, he got this and this. So all to say, I love your energy of performance in that spot. I love the copy for you. It seems like something that you respond to, and it has a nice flow of story. I would consolidate the spot itself, so cut some stuff here and there to make it a shorter blip of an ad. But yeah, just ground it a bit more and send it to an individual person with that same positive energy, that same revelation. And, play around with a bit of maybe sarcasm or something. I think that would jazz it up a smidge. But hey, thank you so much for sending this in, Joe. It was lovely to listen to your work. Really great demo here. Just to summarize everything, full demos. You want the first one to be the thing that you will get cast in, no matter what. It's the thing that you respond to, the thing that really floats your boat, and you do really, really well. That's the first spot. And then the rest are sort of a variety of colors and shapes of scripts and copy and tones that you really think are in your wheelhouse and you perform well. And as you listen to them, if you feel like there's room to pull them apart from each other, to say, this ad is purple and made of stone, and this one is yellow and made of light, or whatever, however it works for you, just drift them further apart in your performance, and I think that that'll make a really nice flow. Again, for all the rest of you, if you find this stuff helpful and you'd be willing to take a couple seconds, click those buttons down there. We appreciate it. There's coaching on my website, blah, 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 blah. Until the next one of these, if you want to fill out a form in the bottom of the thing, send me some audio. I'd love to listen to it. I really enjoy doing these. Anyhow, I'm rambling. It's been a long day for me here. Until the next one of these, be well, everyone, and I will see you there. Toodles.